Shenanigans.
All right, the way it works, one of our hosts will start us out and they'll tell us if their topic is a truth, lie, or shenanigans. Give a little background and we'll talk about it until time is up. And our friend Genji will drop in and let us know that time is over. And then we'll go to our live audience for questions and comments about the topic. So make sure you're talking to us online. All right, Lizzie, since we were talking basketball, we'll start out with you. Is this a truth,
Okay.
lie, or shenanigan?
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Absolutely. And so Gianni and I are the single ladies, all the single ladies on the panel. So neither one of us, we are not married. But who else is married on this panel?
Who else
Who
is
else is
married?
married?
I am
Mhm.
married. The males are married.
Okay, so the
I'm,
two gents are married. Okay. Presumably, but maybe not, but presumably head of households, if you will, if you are in a very traditional,
depends
if
on
you
how
are in a very
you depends on how you define head of household.
honestly, Mel, my bad now. Now I know who's running things over there.
Yeah,
My
you
bad.
should. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
But question for the gents, let me ask you this. Since you have in-laws, do you think that it is your responsibility, especially if you are extremely wealthy, to take care of your in-laws, not only take care of them, but provide a house, a car, an allowance for them for the rest of their lives?
So we're assuming that I'm extremely wealthy. That was your term, extremely wealthy.
I mean, wealthy is relative in some people's minds, but
Mhm.
do you think it's your responsibility to take care of your in-laws?
Personally, because I like my in-laws, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it could be a different story if I had an estranged relationship with my in-laws. Like I could see on the other side if the relationship wasn't good, then no, I wouldn't take on that responsibility. But it's not and I don't think I'm required to do it. I'll put it that way. I feel like if I'm going to do it, I'm doing it because I want to. Uh,
Yeah.
so, but required, no. RB.
Okay. Robbie?
I'm on board. I'm on board with what Mia was putting down. Luckily, I have a great relationship with my in-laws, so I would be happy to. If I had a $600 million estate at my disposal, um, I would maybe say that there's a responsibility, or a duty to, because if it was Jose that acquired this wealth and not me, then I would absolutely ensure that her wishes were fulfilled with that. If there was no will, then I would have to think of Jose as a person, and would Jose take care of her family? Absolutely. So I would absolutely honor it in that respect.
I just
Okay.
want to point
So
out a comment online from Kevin Daxon. Hell no, ain't no Mike Tyson crap going on here.
and let's not talk about Mike Tyson because you're about to get your feelings hurt, Kevin Thaxton. So Rob B just brought up not an arbitrary number. He brought up the number $600 million, and that just wasn't out of left field. He's referring to Kobe and Vanessa Bryant. So, as we all know, unfortunately, Kobe Bryant perished along with his 13-year-old daughter and 7 other passengers in a helicopter crash earlier this year on January 26th. Since then, his wife, Vanessa Bryant, he's survived by his wife, a widow now, Vanessa Bryant, and their 3 other children, other daughters, Natalia, Bianca, and Capri. Since then, Vanessa's mother, I think she went on TV first about a month ago. She went on Telemundo and decided to tell the world that Vanessa was kicking her out of her house, that Vanessa was throwing her out on the street. Then it came out last week that Vanessa's mother has filed a 48-page lawsuit suing her because she says that while Kobe was alive, Kobe promised to take care of her for the rest of her life. So again, before I give you the details of what Vanessa Bryant's mother is asking, what she is suing her daughter for, do you guys want to change your opinions on this, given this information? Or what do you think about this, Roy? Do you think the grandmother, Vanessa's mom, has a right to bring this lawsuit?
Um, Are you asking all of us or just the guys again?
All
Okay.
of you.
So my initial thoughts are no. I mean, I truly had to reread the article. I had to read a couple articles to make sure I understood what was going on. 'Cause I was confused. At first, I thought it was Kobe's mom that was saying Kobe would take care of her, which I think is ridiculous in itself. But at the same time, I could see an argument where that makes sense, right? Um, but then I realized it was Vanessa's mother, and that's crazy. I mean, why would Vanessa be required to give her mom millions because Kobe simply might have said something and that, hey, I take care of you forever. And this is might have because it's her word against, I mean, theirs.
Well,
On
his word,
top of the,
his word, I'll take care of you for life.
yeah.
That doesn't designate whose life.
Oh,
Kobe's life has never.
good point too. Good point too. I mean, but dude just died. I mean, really. I mean, let people deal. Let people heal with the problem. I mean, he
Not
just
only, not
died.
only Kobe, not only Kobe, her granddaughter,
Right.
her
Yeah.
I
granddaughter.
mean, let the
Oh,
family heal. Gosh, I mean, we're talking not even a year, not even barely 9 months. Well, 10 months, 11 months,
well,
something
when
like
she first
I
started,
just
you're right. When she first started, it was barely 9 months. When she first
when she
started,
first
it was
started.
barely.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Johnny.
no, I was just curious because I actually looked into it further as well, but I'm curious, where is that coming from? I know that she said that Vanessa had kicked her out of the house and she took her Mercedes and all of this. But I know that instead of filing on a private matter, she did it publicly. And I know in the article it also mentions that why would you file something that you know that you were going to lose, and it was to shame Vanessa, or to have her end up kind of doing a what is it called, like a settlement with her,
Mm.
instead of actually winning a lawsuit, which she can't win anyway. So it was like,
Well,
why do that? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
before Rocky gives a comment, let me just read to you what one of the statements from the lawsuit says. Unfortunately, Kobe's promise did not see the light of day, as he is now deceased, and Vanessa took each and every step she could to void and cancel all of Kobe's promises, the lawsuit claims, asserting that Vanessa Bryant never intended to honor those wishes. Rob?
Mm.
Yeah. So at the basis of her legal dispute, she's claiming 18, I think something ridiculous like 18 years of back pay for being a support worker and at the family's disposal. Whereas Vanessa's claim is, well, come on,
Not
man,
only that,
being a
they
grand.
said 90. She's claiming $96 an hour of back pay
Last time
for
I
two
checked, man, that's
decades of work.
right. So that's a little ridiculous. And I mean, shame on Mama for making that claim that the back pay is owed. Shame on Vanessa for removing her. But as I dug into it, Vanessa had removed her from everything. She was willing to provide her with monthly support for the rest of her life. And that wasn't good enough. So maybe she wasn't, maybe Mom was used to a certain lifestyle that Kobe was able to provide to his extended family. But now Vanessa acknowledges that that revenue stream has been cut off. There might still be some endorsements and a few things that she's going to get her way, but that revenue stream has absolutely dried up. So she's taken the precautions to prepare or to preserve her family or her daughters, as opposed to taking care of all the extended family. But $600 million estate, shame on you. Take care of your mom. Even if you don't get along with her, take care of your mom.
Totally disagree. Totally disagree. The fact that one, you immediately went to the press. You immediately went to the press and exposed our personal business, but you also feel as if you are entitled to something. This is a gift, and not even a gift that's based off of my merits, my talents as your daughter. This is based off of everything my husband did. And now my husband is no longer here. And so, again, we were being generous in giving you a house and giving you cars and giving you money for 20 years. And to feel this sense of entitlement that, one, you are going to the press and documenting monetarily how much you think you are owed for being a grandparent to your children, but also then saying that you want a $5 million check right off the bat, in addition to houses. Hell no. I wouldn't give her anything now. Even if I thought I had a soft spot, or as Gianni was pointing to, I might have settled or given in for something. The audacity that you have to try to expose my family when we are still in mourning, you're not getting anything.
That's
And
the
that goes to
issue.
show that you didn't appreciate Kobe for who he was. You appreciated those dollars. You didn't appreciate
Mhm.
him as a son-in-law. You appreciated those dollars. And now that he's no longer here, you expect to be living large off of something that you didn't earn. Nope,
Yeah,
nothing.
I, and
I agree.
just to, I'm with Lizzie on this one. I mean, I agree with you, Rob B, because I have a soft spot for my mother-in-law. So I would try to take care of her, especially if I had the wealth that the Kobe Bryant family has. I would do something to take care of it. And you did mention that they are doing something to take care of her,
Yeah,
or
love.
were going to do something to take care of her.
They were. So Vanessa, according to, if you believe Vanessa said, yes, we removed her from one house, but we were going to put her in another residence. Now,
Mhm.
it could be that residence wasn't as big as she wanted it to be, but that's on her. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
free
the
is free.
problem here is gold digging. I mean, she's it would be different if she were saying, "Hey, I just want you to, you threw me out on the street and I have nothing, or or there's no money coming in or anything like that." But with that not being the case, with her, she's just this is money grubbing. She wants more than she necessarily
Mhm.
deserves, or that her or Vanessa feels that she should have. And Vanessa has a right to decide what she feels like she should give to her mother,
Yeah, no,
regardless of what Kobe.
there's
And
no
what is the
basis in the court of
definition of taking care of for the rest of your life? I mean, what does that mean? It's so subjective. Kobe could have been saying anything. He could have been saying, "I'll give you a paycheck for $2,000 a month, and that's me taking care of you."
And also, is there a written contract? How do we know Kobe said that to her?
Said
She could be
that.
lying.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Maybe it was just known. Like maybe it was just a known thing within the family. Like I'll always
Right.
take care of you. Maybe that was the case. But
Robbie, you
but
still sticking by that?
But when the revenue stream is cut off, that's it. I'll still take care of you. And she was offering to take care. So I would still stick to my original offer, regardless, and just, you can go back to the media and tell them what I'm offering you. And in relation to what you are telling me you were entitled to, and that's it. It's the entitlement that really gets me. I want this house. I want this Mercedes SUV. No, that's not
But
how it
are you
works. If
suggesting that she still that Vanessa still honor her original agreement even after all of this? Because I personally would probably not honor my original agreement.
I
She's
wouldn't
letting
really,
you
I
at the
would.
level that
I
you
still
would.
would.
And if there was a car in the deal originally, I would just say, hey, you know what? I still want you to have a roof over your head. The family's still going to take care
Yeah.
of you. We're not putting you out on the street because
yeah,
that wasn't the intent.
I gotta admit, I'm with Lizzie on this one. At this point, I would probably put her out on the street. I'm just,
and
I mean,
let's
Katie
be like,
Pines, Katie
it's like this
Pines.
is like these are like attacks when when you're in a mourning, because it takes time to mourn, and you have someone attacking you when you're in a time of mourning. That's a serious attack. That's not just like in passing saying this is. I think it's bigger than just a simple dispute. This. Go ahead, Lizzie. Sorry.
there's a popular saying. I'm not sure if this is a saying in Canada yet. You might get it, Rob. But here in the States, a lot of the young people say secure the bag. Um, and so in addition to securing the bag, people, make sure you keep that bag, secure it tightly. Like, don't do anything to mess up your money stream or to piss off the person that is providing for you. Especially when it's something so petty. I could see if she was being abused, like Rob said, if she was really being thrown off the street. But we're talking about the size of a house, a car, money from 20 years ago that you claim you were owed for babysitting your grandkids. Like, come on. And again, like Neo just brought up, Vanessa's still in mourning. People in mourning aren't necessarily going to be the nicest. They get rather been there, done that myself. They get rather nasty.
Mm-hmm.
And so the last thing you want to do is get on the bad side of someone who is not in a good place emotionally and mentally, and you want something from them.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mama, she would have to go.
Yeah.
She would have to go.
Total agree. You agree, Gianni? Whose side you on this one, Gianni? Oh, maybe she looks like she might be lagging a bit. All right.
Yeah, I'm.
Okay.
I'm. Oh, am I lagging?
You're back.
Looks like you're back. Looks like you're back.
Yeah, I'm on. I can see you guys' point, but I definitely would have to honor the original agreement, knowing me. And if it was like my mom and she was acting weird, which would never be the case, but if that was the case, just knowing my relationship and bond to my mother, I'm have to honor that agreement. It's definitely going to be from riches to rags kind of story for her, but at least she'll have a roof over her head and some food, and she'll, she'll be comfortable, basically. But yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, it looks like me and Lizzie are the hard asses here.
I just want to say very quickly,
love.
if you guys remember during our interview, because Kobe had a very difficult relationship with his parents as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
At the time of his death, I'm not sure if they were on speaking terms, but Jeff Pearlman brought this up in his interview with us as to why Kobe and Vanessa may have been attracted to one another at such an early age. They both were in situations where they had parents who were kind of very strict, but also kind of possessive, if you will, and overbearing. And when they got together, Kobe's parents didn't talk to him for years.
Yeah.
And then Vanessa's parent, people often said Vanessa's mom wouldn't have been down with it either if Kobe was just peanut on the corner and had a regular 9 to 5. So I think this is another example of the problems with the parents bringing two people together and saying it's us against the world.
Yeah.
It's
All
us
right.
against the world.
Let's get to these comments online. So, my wife, Mel Blaine, says she basically wants to get paid for being a grandma? Question mark. Grandmas take care of their family. At least my mom does. I mean, yeah, and that's the thing. $96 an hour of back pay for two decades of taking care of your grandchildren. Really? Jose says shame on her. Kevin Thaxton says nope. Salai says the poor kids have lost their father and sister, and now their grandmother starts this nonsense, and they'll lose her too. So selfish of the granny.
Yes.
Jacqueline Rom says, "What agreement? I would get illiterate quick, fast, and in a hurry. That greedy, grasping hag could kick rocks." Let's see. Mike Wolf says, "Seems like a poor legal strategy on mom's part. She's alienating her own daughter and is going to end up in an upper mid-level assisted living facility." Man, you got her like, dang, Mike.
During COVID too. That's not the best place to be during COVID.
Johnny Vash Faiz says, and this is on Twitch, "I think Vanessa's mom doesn't have the right." Mike Patterson joined. Okay, let's see. And then
Right.
Howard Ross says, "Bad sign" on TikTok. So,
was that our Mike Patterson? No, that was a different.
Well, yeah, no. Mike Patterson seems to be looks like he's watching on Instagram right now. Yeah, our Mike Patterson. Yep, our friend Mike Patterson.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, I just saw that pop up as I was reading, so I was like, "Oh, Mike." All right, Jose says being a grandparent is a privilege. I agree with all of those. All right, let's get on to our next hot topic.